Hello from London and Happy New Year! There's been something of a tradition here on the channel at the start of the new year of doing a bit of a review, looking back at how our language learning and language learning conversations have been going in the last 12 months and what's coming up in the new year. So I'm going to do that with the How to Get Fluent Christmas tree here in the background. Now, I didn't start any new language in 2020. I continued with my beginner's Japanese, my intermediate Basque, and my advanced languages as well. Japanese, I structured my learning around my core textbook, which was Japanese from Zero, and by October I'd finished the third book in that 5-book series. Since then I've been experimenting with other materials. I've been updating regularly with blogs and videos about my Japanese progress, so I don't want to say much about it today. Suffice it to say that as well as enjoying using a textbook just to give me a core plan, a lot of audio resources too, I definitely came to the conclusion that it was better for me not to learn or focus on the Chinese characters, the kanji at this stage, and that a silent period rather becomes me in language learning, getting the basic structures and core vocabulary before I do much speaking. That said, in the summer, I did have 16 one-to-one conversational lessons online using italki.com, the best platform, I think, for finding teachers. I'll link to that underneath this video. That was through July through to October. Talking of conversational practice, with my intermediate Basque, that has been actually the core of what I've done, and I think I had 91 one-to-one sessions in Basque, spread out pretty evenly throughout the course of 2020. You probably know what it's like at the intermediate level as a language learner. At times you feel you get ready, you're on your way and you're conquering the world. Other times it just doesn't seem to flow and it's extremely frustrating. But I kept going through the highs and the lows in 2020. And I also did an awful lot of listening, mainly to Basque native level talk radio, often when I was jogging or walking through the park. In 2021, I'm going to continue with both my Japanese and my Basque. As for my advanced languages, Russian, German, Welsh and French, well, import has been the name of the game really in many ways. I've done an awful lot of watching YouTube content through the medium of Russian and also stuff in German, and also television series which I like in German to watch, such as Tatort, which is a detective series which I've got a bit addicted to in the second half of 2020. With Welsh, I've been listening more than ever to Welsh radio, particularly the great lunchtime news broadcast programme. It's called Wedi Cinio, and that's because I've been at home, of course, because of the COVID lockdown since March and cooking in the kitchen at lunchtime. So getting more Welsh listening practice than ever. And French also listening occasionally to particularly France Info, our rolling news channel, using the app for that station on my radio when I've been doing things like the ironing and the cleaning and that sort of thing in the house. I keep a couple of books always by my bedside in German and Russian, so usually novels that I read. And so I'm getting a lot of input with both those languages. I should be doing more writing practice than I am, something maybe I'll come back to in 2021. With Welsh too, I've got a bit of a serious interest in Welsh politics. I've got a Twitter habit going in the Welsh language too, as well as stuff in English, so I'm reading Welsh every day. And I want to keep engaging with all those languages in the coming year. How's it gone for you with language learning in 2020? Did you start a new language? Were there any particular challenges that you faced? Have you been stuck on an intermediate plateau? Have you been trying new things, reaching new heights on your language learning journey? I'd love to hear about it. There was a lot of new content on howtogetfluent.com in the course of 2020. I kept up my habit of one blog post a week, which had been going for over 2 years through to April, and I've let up a little bit for the rest of the year. So all in all, there were a total of 24 posts in 2020. Visitor numbers continued to rise in the course of the last year. They doubled during 2019 and they almost doubled again in 2020, so that was really encouraging. So 24 posts in all last year on the site. And some of my favourite ones were the method post I did called Have You Got the Fluency Mindset, which went down quite well, I think. I did one on learning languages at home in the crisis at the beginning of the lockdown in late spring. And I focused in on individual languages with a large German post in the summer on the imperfect tense or the Präteritum, and one at the end of the year on the genitive case. The genitive case, everything you need to know. So that's one for German learners to check out too. On Russian, I didn't publish quite as much as I would have liked. There was an interview with Ivan, another advanced candidate who's succeeded at the tremendously challenging TRKI 4th certificate Russian exam, one I'd like to have a go at some stage myself in the future. For Welsh, there was a post called Is Welsh Hard to Learn? I'm also continuing to build out the resources section of the site. I've organised the tab on resources a bit better, and I'm continuing to add some of my favourite language learning products there, including my own 2 courses, my intermediate German course and also my Russian upper beginner revision course. And those have run in the past, but they're now open for enrolment at any time. You'll see the tabs on the site. More resources then to come. What about then the YouTube channel? Well, it's been a year of steady growth. There were just over 1,500 of you subscribed at the start of 2020 and 2,450 by the end of the year. Right through to August, I continued my habit, which had been going for 2.5 years, of doing a couple of videos a week. And that was hugely stimulating, but quite a lot of pressure, quite a lot of creative energy going into it. So again, since the summer, I've sort of gone back to aiming to do 1 video a week on the channel. There were 80 videos in total during the course of 2020 here on the channel. I was still doing my Asia diary vlogs at the beginning of the year, which I shot towards the end of 2019 when I was on the road heading over to Fukuoka for the Polyglot Conference. I did vlogs from that event actually. They didn't come out till spring 2020. They were great fun to do. And also, it took me quite a while to edit my vlogs from my vlog from the language show, London's language show, which I shot also at the end of, or in the autumn of 2019, which didn't come out till this autumn, just gone. Talking of falling behind, the last event, the last physical language learning event I attended before the COVID crisis started here in the UK was the language show Edinburgh in February. And I've just about finished 3 vlogs, which I want to bring out now this January, from that event, and it's great to look back to what it used to be like in the olden days when we could all mix and discuss our enthusiasm for language learning together. Also during the lockdown, I did a lot more daily life vlogging than I've ever done before. I know that's not everybody's thing, but it's something I really enjoy doing, and so I will continue to do the occasional slice of life vlog here on the channel. One thing I thought I'd like to do in 2020 is to start using my languages again on the channel, as I was using German, Basque, Russian and Welsh for my Asia diary vlogs at the beginning of the year. So that's something I want to experiment with again. What do you think about that for 2021? There were several method videos, tip videos, so tips for how to sound more fluent. I finished off my series of working one-to-one with a teacher, which is a series I began on the channel in 2019, and I looked at different types of reading. And I want to do a lot more tips and method type videos during the course of 2021. And the other thing I want to do a lot more of, I think, is looking at language learning products, reviewing them, recommending them when I can. So that's something that I want to plan ahead for the coming year. Is that something you might be interested in? Will there be events in 2021 that I can actually vlog from? I'm not sure. A bit of an innovation was to do vlogging from the Polyglot Gathering online in the summer, in early June, at the very end of May. And I gave a talk there too, which I think went reasonably well. And it was certainly great to do a lot of Zoom interviews actually with different participants and to see how bringing the event online had actually in some ways opened it up to people from all over the world who wouldn't otherwise have been able to attend. Whenever I talk about books, it seems to be something that people like. So my bookshelf safaris, I've done 2 of them so far. I want to continue those into 2021. Book haul videos when I get new books seem to go down well too, and I enjoy doing them. So there'll be more of those too. Are there people you'd like me to interview on the channel who haven't been on yet? We had quite a few guests in 2020, people like Kirsten Cable from Women in Language and The Fluent Show. Richard Simcoff from the Polyglot Conference, a hugely inspiring language learner, was back on the channel, as was Peter Balas, the organiser of the Polyglot Gathering, and another inspiring young polyglot, TJ Huisar. My old friend Chris the Dane Broholm from Actual Fluency came on to talk about his new bite-sized courses I partnered up with him in promoting those. And they also are one of the things available on the resources tab over on the website. So there are some interviews already recorded, which will be coming in the coming weeks. And yeah, I'm always looking out for new, interesting people to invite onto the channel. One thing I said at the end of 2019 I'd like to do more of were tutorial videos, and that didn't really happen. But I'd like to do some tutorials in basic, intermediate, Welsh, Russian, and German in particular, and maybe do some stuff in English too. One idea I'm toying with is maybe setting up some separate small channels to cover these things, uploading some videos and seeing what happens, rather than diluting the focus here on this channel. What do you think? Thanks for being with me in 2020. I've loved interacting with many of you in the comments section, getting your encouragement and learning from you as well. Keep it up in the coming year. I'll do everything I can from my side to try and create content which inspires and helps you. I'm always aware it could be so much better than it is, but as in language learning, all we can do is the best for where we are at the moment. And if we keep doing that, we keep at it, we keep practicing, we keep getting good feedback, then the only way is onwards and upwards. And let's hope as we do that in 2021 that the world around us goes back to something a bit more resembling normality. Happy New Year again. See you soon.